Hi guys, I just want to talk about like a more serious topic, and I want to maybe dive into it a little more on my channel. And I think I wanted to start a series actually about insecurities and some tips that I have to ease those insecurities. I feel like those insecurities that we have keep us from owning up to our own responsibilities and the chaos we can cause. And instead of working through it, which can be hard, we criticize others or even just stay in that self-pity cycle of not getting better, but kind of thriving off of that poor me mentality. I really want to help everyone just be their own cheerleader and just be absolutely in love with themselves the way that I can be at points and most times, but sometimes I have issues too. I just want to help you deal with these issues the way that I've learned myself to, because I've spent a lot of time in my own self-pity and just loathing of myself and jealousy of other girls and men even of certain things. I want to talk about Instagram. I remember Instagram being a very big source of just me hating myself. And I gave Instagram that power to do that over me. I was constantly on it, following people that I wanted to look like, and there are just some things about myself I can't change that I really wanted to. Like, I wanted to be white or just have straight hair when I got it wet. And now those are both things that I don't care to be, and I just love my features. But every time I would go on there, I found myself feeling sorry for myself that I couldn't look like that. Like, I would say I couldn't afford the clothes they would have, so that's why I wasn't thin, or like that's why I wasn't white. Like it just like things that don't make sense now, but that's just how I genuinely felt. I just felt like I couldn't afford the skin color. I couldn't afford what comes with that skin color. And for me, I just associated prettiness with being white. And that was back then. And there are other things too, like me being thin. I was a lot bigger then. And actually, funny story, I was a lot bigger, lost the weight, and still felt awful about myself. That's when I really realized that it's in here and in here that I needed to change something, not physical. It's a lot more comfortable to not change ourselves and to just criticize other people and even criticize ourselves and keep telling ourselves that that is what we are and that is all we can be, when in reality we are much more than the negative thoughts that we have. So, getting right into the tips that I have about Instagram and, how dealing with insecurities, and these tips really helped me stay just grounded and understanding of what others' lives are versus what my life is. What you see is not always what you get, it's just what's put out. First thing to know about Instagram, and it is just that. It's just an app. You choose what you see, you choose what you like, you choose what you click, you choose what you scroll down, whose Instagram page you scroll down or choose to look at, who you choose to message, who you choose to interact with. And even if you are only on there for a few times, it is curated to what you see and even what you hear. I mean, we've all heard that Instagram listens, so be mindful of that. I mean, we can't change it, so just be mindful of it. If you're following girls who you want to look like, but in the end, they're just making you feel bad about yourself, just unfollow them. They'll be there later. They're always going to be popular. But for right now, focus on yourself. Understand that you seeing that is not helping, so you need to unfollow it. When you eventually get to the point where you can learn to appreciate them for the humans that they are, or even just the images they put out, you can then follow them and not be jealous. Pro tip for this tip: follow girls that look like you and learn to appreciate what you have. I just learned to appreciate what my traits were, what I have to offer to the world. My second tip is unfollow unhealthy accounts. Unhealthy accounts will definitely vary from thinspo to people complaining just about anything and everything, about people belittling anything and everything, everyone even. Like those spam accounts that talk about hating themselves and their negative outlooks on life and things like that. Just unfollow it. By following these accounts, they become part of your daily routine. So you're checking Instagram maybe daily. They become part of your daily routine and part of your habit. So then your habit is to think of these things, whatever those things may be. So it's celebrity gossip. Then you're thinking about maybe someone else's family who did something awful. Once these things become habit inside yourself, you'll begin to look for them in your own life. Like maybe you'll have a negative outtake on your job because you see someone else or everyone else talking about how they hate their job. Or you'll have a negative outlook on a relationship that you have or a friendship, or you see something about cheating all the time. So you begin to question your boyfriend a lot. Just make sure you're not creating problems where problems don't exist. Pro tip for this tip would be to follow positive accounts. Christian accounts if you're Christian, universal accounts that talk about like light and spirit and energy if you're into that, or just funny accounts if you're into meme accounts that do like the dumb whatevers, follow those instead. Don't focus on the negative, just look at the positive stuff. Make sure you get all the feed in, sprinkle some cheesy quotes in, but because they honestly do help if you say them, you see them every now and then, you begin to think, yeah, one will stick with you basically, and then you'll kind of fall down that rabbit hole into more positive ones. Something to keep in your mind so that you can replace those old habits with just better ones. Third tip for you guys is everything you see on Instagram is probably edited. There are body filters now. There are filters that you can change your body to like have an hourglass or have a bare top, bare bottom, slimmer everything. Not only do they have Photoshop for just pictures, body filters for videos, but then they also get work done and then they Photoshop. Also, why like almost every celebrity looks alike. They all have the eyebrows that kind of go upward and the snatched eyes that go upward because they've all had the same procedures. And I'll leave some videos down below because I find it very interesting that some of these people are selling us items they say have helped them look the way they do, when in reality it's just been Botox, BBLs, lipo, all this. And even though I think these women are beautiful, I find what they do is disingenuous and toxic. Pro tip for this tip would be to follow body neutrality and body positivity accounts. Body positivity would be when you like your body for the way it is. You like the curves your body has. You like the freckles your body has. Versus body neutrality is you're grateful just that you have feet. You're grateful you can move your legs the way you can. You're grateful to use the voice the way you can. Whatever you like, I would follow accounts that focus more on that. And you can really just do a quick search for each of those in the hashtags or even just as is. One last tip for you guys. If all else fails, delete the app. Do not give that app the power. They have so much power over little girls, little boys, women, men, relationships, and families between husbands and wives, girlfriends and boyfriends, friends even. It's ridiculous how much power that app has and how much we're giving to it. You deleting the app doesn't mean you need to delete your account. You're just deleting the app. You can always log in or whatever you want, but I really recommend you delete the app because the hardest thing to do about change is the start and the consistency that comes with it. You constantly checking the app is detrimental. Start there, delete it. It'll get you out of the habit of checking it. It'll get you in the consistency of spending more time on yourself. And this leads me right into my pro tip. While you have that app deleted, you'll realize that so much of that time you spend on that app is spent somewhere else. Start journaling if you feel like going on Instagram, or just write down your feelings, start a video, YouTube channel or whatever. Do something else besides Instagram. So those are just a few tips on what I've learned over the few years of just me and my journey on just loving myself, and I definitely would love to come back and do more on this series. And just thank you for your time, guys. I hope you learned something from this. If you have any more tips that help you, or if I'm missing anything at all, because I don't know everything, I'm always learning, always expanding, go ahead and leave them down below in the comments. And thank you so much, guys. Make sure you're drinking water, make sure you're being kind to yourself, and I hope you guys have a good day.